Hey, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out LTC's price chart. And unfortunately, what we talked about in the previous video, I'm going to say to the T actually played out. If you remember, the last time that we talked about Litecoin, we were specifically right in here and we were saying for two very important reasons, maybe it's best to exercise caution and not jump into any unnecessary bullish conclusion. And maybe even it's best to count on some more downward price action. Reason number one, if you remember, came down to this specific move looking a lot like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down. Reason number two came down to this specific pullback right in here, not looking like any kind of 5 wave on the upside. So we said odds are this is a correction, this is impulse down, followed by that we may very well see a bit of a bounce. However, then you should probably count on a continuation of the move down. And as you can see, we got our move. Now, the question is, can we argue in Litecoin we have hit the low of our correction overall, starting from the highs to about the lows right in here? In my view, yes, you can argue that, but should you argue that or not? Okay, that's actually a bit of a different story, and I don't really think that scenario should be our primary one. Why? Okay, you see, when we got this bounce back right in here, it happened way too fast, and I do think that around the shadows we do have some clear gaps, and since in my view gaps 95+% of the time are going to get filled, well, okay, I'm gonna say, you know what, in LTC odds are soon, maybe after having even another move on the upside, you are going to see a face down in order to fill all the gaps, possibly even go a little bit lower. This is reason number one. Reason number two, you see, if you want to argue that the bottom is in right around this area, let's say this is like a very important support, then okay, find off of the lowest low a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and by that I mean a very strong bounce without a lot of overlapping of the waves in order for us to be bullish. However, when I go on the live chart, and maybe even it's best to go on 15-minute time frame, okay, as you can see, I think we can all agree this so far at least doesn't really seem like that much of a strong move on the upside, and between our pullbacks down we are just constantly having overlapping of the waves. So all of these are unfortunately characteristics of a corrective movement, suggesting, you know what, this is just a temporary bounce, followed by that you can expect again some more downward price action. And here is my final reason. I think in Litecoin, in this specific phase down from here to about the lows, we are having a 5 wave. However, here's a problem. This is 1, this is 2, this is wave 3, and where is your wave 4 and 5? Answer is you at least right now do not have it yet. So since we are having, according to what we just talked about earlier, a correction structure most likely, well, okay, doesn't really hurt to say this is into our wave 4, and once more the conclusion is kind of similar. What we are going to have next, yep, probably another move on the downside into wave 5. So as you can see in LTC, a lot of signs do suggest that this bounce is not really going to stick, and most likely it's just temporary, and after it's over we are going to see maybe another small phase down. But I need you to remember at the same time, overall in Litecoin, I don't really believe that we should be like overwhelmingly bearish. Why? Because now you can say, maybe, excuse me, let's just delete all the waves. This is like from this point to about this high, a 5 wave up into a wave 1, followed by a correction for wave 2, and what's next? Well, you know what, a strong move up into wave 3, 4, 5. Or if you want to be a bit more optimistic, you can say this is 1, 2, and what's next? Again, good move up into wave 3, 4, 5, and even that one on a higher degree is going to be into what? Yep, a wave 3 correction for 4, another move on the upside into wave 5. The point that I'm trying to make is this: in LTC, overall, as long as we are not taking this important slowdown here about $76, I think we should remain optimistic. But you know, in the short term, seems like maybe our move down is going to continue a little bit, which on the grand scheme of things, you know what, that's fine. It's not really going to damage the chart a whole lot. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Litecoin. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.